What's the word, gang? We back in this motherfucker with another video. It's your boy, the big homie. If you not hip, get hip. Man, today we gonna start this series of reaction videos. As you can hear, I'm getting my voice back. It still ain't fully back in this motherfucker, but it's coming. You know we 420 friendly on this channel. If you smoking, gonna spark that bitch up. We finna get into it. Man, this video I got for y'all today, it blew me. I ain't even gonna cap. I ain't even watched this motherfucker yet. But the motherfucking title on this bitch, man, I'm talking about the parents who hired a hitman to murder their 16-year-old daughter. Let's get into it, man. First, I'm gonna spark this motherfucker up. Know I'm gonna need this. Know I'm gonna need this just off the strength.
There are some mysteries where the answer is so shocking, you wish you didn't know the truth. And that's going to be especially true in this case of a teenager who disappeared in Augusta, Georgia. I'm afraid that in this one, the truth behind what happened is truly horrifying.
Really? He messed with all this prettiness and he's gonna run away with our daughter? Come on now, that's stupid.
So hold on tight, okay? Here we go. Latanya Janelle Carwell, usually well known as Janelle, was a teenager with a bright future ahead of her. She was an honor student at T.W. Josie Comprehensive High School and won lots of achievement awards. Her pastor described her like this.
Janelle was a loving, very intelligent, smart young woman who wanted to be a doctor, who was an honor student.
Basically, she had an awful lot going for her, which makes what happens to her
honor
next
student and
seem
everything
even more insane. She lived in Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia, with her family. This was her little sister, her mom, Tanya Tripp, and her stepfather, Leon Tripp. Now, the night of April 17th, 2017 was her 16th birthday, and also Easter Sunday. She had a pretty big day. After they had enjoyed a cookout party at their home
Her
with
birthday
friends
on
and neighbors,
Easter?
her mom went to bed
Damn.
early and left Janelle and Leon to finish celebrating. At least, this is what Janelle's mom told the police had happened on that night. Tanya went to bed and was woken by Leon.
Hold up. Let's run that back.
Also Easter Sunday. She had a pretty big day. After they had enjoyed a cookout party at their home with friends and neighbors, her mom went to bed early and left Janelle and Leon to finish celebrating. At least, this is what
her mom
Janelle's
leave her with her
told the police
step-pops.
had happened on that night. Tanya went to bed and was woken by Leon at about midnight. He asked if he could borrow her phone to look up something. A friend of his, Maurice, needed a lift because his car had broken down. Not thinking anything of it, she gave Leon her phone. But
So, her mama go to sleep early. Her mama boyfriend sneak in her room and ask to borrow her phone. What type of weirdo shit is this? Say his homeboy need a lift. You ain't got no phone, cuz? What the fuck they be going on around this motherfucker, man? They be tweaking.
because he wasn't great at using the map on the phone, he wanted Janelle to go with him to help him with the directions to Clarksville, South Carolina. Now, that...
Damn, cuz. What type of world we live in, bro? This nigga done snuck in her room, bro. He snuck in this 16-year-old room on her birthday. Asked to use her phone for whatever odd reason, stupid as fuck, and told her he need her to ride with him because he not good at using the map on the phone. What else? What the fuck else they just said, bro? Man.
He wanted Janelle to go with him to help him with the directions to Clarksville, South Carolina. Now, that's kind of a weird thing to take a kid to do that at that time of night, right? And Leon took Tanya's phone with him because apparently he didn't have access to the directions.
Sure
like, okay, maybe it wasn't a smartphone, or he didn't know about an app store. Well, it all sounds pretty strange to me. Anyway,
Hell
things
yeah, that
quickly
shit
became
sounds strange.
worse.
Fuck you
Tanya
talking
didn't
about.
hear from Leon or her daughter again for the whole next day. Neither of them had returned from their late night mission, and their phones weren't ever answered again. So Janelle's mom made a panicked call to the police to report that they were missing. This is the 911 call she made.
Not like them not to answer the phone. I've been calling and texting and leaving messages and nothing.
Don't you think she sounds totally scared here and that the worst might have happened to them? Tanya was so sure that if they'd seen her phone calls, they would have picked up. So, of course, this huge search started for them both. The cops, and especially the local community, got really involved. Everybody wanted to find the missing teenager. The frantic search carried on for the next 2 weeks. A local pastor who had a radio show got involved with raising awareness about the case, and Janelle's mom appeared on Facebook Live streaming event. She told watchers that she had brain and lung cancer. That makes all of this even sadder, right?
Need my baby home, like 15 days ago type home, because she has never been away from me this long.
Now, on the
Now look, I'm gonna be 1,000. When she made that motherfucking police call, she sounded like she was scared than a bitch. Like she knew something was wrong. Like I ain't saying she had nothing to do with it. I'm saying the title ain't matching up because the way she sounded, like nigga, she was for sure scared. Like nigga, if you not knowing, like it's a lot of manipulative motherfuckers out here. If you manipulative, then well shit, we all manipulative, bro. It's whether how the fuck you use that shit. But man, a lot of people ain't that great at motherfucking manipulating emotions. They think they are, you know what I'm saying? You can fake mad. It's easy to fake mad, you know what I'm saying? But like panic, nah, you can try, but you know what I'm saying? Usually that shit is comedic, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't realistic. Not for no average Joe, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she got nothing to do with it. I want to see though.
Facebook post, they were trying to raise money for a reward, and by June the amount was over $2,500. But the community was also terrified that there was some kind of predator around, threatening their lives. The publicity around Janelle was hard to miss, and I think people were pretty freaked out. But by late April 2017, law enforcement had finally found Leon's car. His white pickup truck was spotted about a mile from their home. The cops searched it for any signs of a struggle or DNA that could prove the worst, but nothing turned up there. I guess that's a good thing, but really frustrating. So the cops...
This nigga took her to Clarksville, but they found his truck a mile away from their crib. No DNA evidence in that motherfucker.
checked their cell phone records. What they found suggested Janelle and Leon hadn't been anywhere near the Clarksville area, where the friend had apparently broken down. And even worse, Janelle's social media channels had gone completely silent. For a popular teenager like her to switch off, yeah, this fact made the cops and...
Time to scout.
You know they gotta get paid off this shit.
Everyone who cared for her, super worried. A charity called Bring Our Missing Home, which helps people to find their missing loved ones, was closely involved with the case at this point. They were really concerned that despite all the coverage about Janelle's disappearance and the millions of flyers that had been spread all over Georgia, there hadn't been a single phone call or message with a sighting of Janelle. But eventually, the police did hear something important about the case. Only, it really wasn't what they were expecting to find. Reports had finally started coming in about a sighting. And guess who it was? It was Leon Tripp. He'd been seen all on his own somewhere in Atlanta, but sadly, there was no sign of Janelle with him. The police realized they had to dig into Leon's past.
Boyfriend.
They didn't have to look very far because it turned out he had a super dark criminal history.
He had some assault charges. He had some cruelty to
They found the
children.
boyfriend. Quick him up.
He'd even been in jail for aggravated assault.
Oh,
And
this
Janelle's
nigga
mom
been, he
knew
a certified
all
predator.
about
This
this.
shit,
In
they
fact,
say he
they'd
been
both gone
fucking
to
with the
high school
kids, and
together.
this nigga
And
known
after
for
Leon was put away for a
assault?
years, they'd somehow grown even closer, exchanging
Aggravated
letters
assault.
and
This nigga-
phone calls.
this nigga
Very
aggravatedly taking kids.
romantic.
Damn.
Leon and Tanya had even married while he was
How much
still
force?
locked up. But it seems like Janelle's mom
Like, wow.
really didn't mind any of his super sketchy past. Once he was released, as I mentioned earlier, he moved into the same house with her and her 2 daughters. This was in 2015, 2 years before Janelle vanished with him. I mean, that background is totally not a great look for Tanya or Leon. And this time, the cops were after him for abduction charges. They were pretty sure he'd done something
I'm talking
to
about
his
eating
stepdaughter.
steak.
But Janelle's
Took her
mom
fucking
really didn't want to
daughter.
believe this. One reporter even noticed how little she wanted to hear it.
When I asked her, hey, investigators believe that he's taken her, she was very defensive.
And the lady who ran Bring Our Missing Home, Kathy Rhodes, agrees that Tanya's actions were getting
Listen, I'm gonna be a buck with you. Like, you can't blame her for not wanting to believe that. Like, you don't know what this woman going through in her head, cuz like, this woman done thought 1,000,001 thoughts. Like, he could have did something to her daughter. You know what I'm saying? They could be dead and gone somewhere. Y'all ain't found nobody. Y'all ain't came with his body, her body. Y'all ain't arrested him. Y'all ain't found her daughter. Like, y'all have nothing. So for you to be talking about somebody that she motherfucking, like, she feel like she has some loyalty to, you know what I'm saying, with no proof, how the fuck you gonna just expect her to want to hear that shit? You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying, that shit out the window or negate nothing, bro. At this moment, she don't know nothing. Y'all trying to turn this woman against somebody and she don't know nothing. He could be dead with her daughter and y'all turn her against him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to come with some proof to be trying to expect somebody to hear that shit, especially somebody loyal. Everybody ain't just easily flipped.
sketchier. Kathy had worked really close to Tanya the whole time they were trying to find Janelle. She couldn't help noticing that the number of red flags kept increasing. Too much just didn't add up. Following the suspicion that Leon might have abducted her daughter, Tanya had said in one interview,
Really? He messed with all this prettiness and he's gonna run away with our daughter? Come on now, that's stupid.
"It's definitely kind of..."
Ooh. Now hold on now. I ain't even gonna lie. Now we all know we seen some people in public and you like, damn, could how he pulled her or how the fuck she get dude, bro. Like, some people just don't match. You know what I'm saying? That's because we one of them words. You know what I'm saying? You look at motherfucker visually. You know what I'm saying? But listen, she talking about some how the fuck this man, if he been fucking with all this prettiness, how he gonna run off with our daughter? Listen. This man is a prior predator. Fuck do you mean? This nigga already done been fucking with kids. It just said this shit. This nigga known for aggravated assaults and pressing up on shit, girl. That nigga got with you to get to her. Fuck you talking about?
Of an odd thing to say, isn't it? By now, the people who were working on the case were in close touch with Tanya, and they were starting to really get anxious about her motives. And the signs of Tanya's possible jealousy of her daughter really didn't stop there. She also said,
And all this craziness about they ran off to be together and stuff, no, it's no truth in none of that. That's her dad, that's his daughter, that's it. I'm his wife, not her. So all that craziness, it's no happening to that.
by this point, Tanya was even accusing law enforcement of only coming after her and not doing enough to find her daughter. But the police had finally tracked him down. A call came through that Leon had been discovered. He was at a U-Haul depot in
Oh,
Atlanta.
they caught this lame
should
ass
be
nigga, man.
good news, right? But guess who is right there with him? Well, you're not gonna believe it, or maybe.
Oh, man. Come on now. Plot twist for your ass, bro. Damn. Whole time I'm over here going hard. I'm on niggas top. Like, hey, man, benefit of the doubt, man. Like, how the fuck you get caught with that nigga? Everything ain't
When
what
the
it
cops
seems
arrived
to
at the
be.
U-Haul to arrest Leon,
Motherfucker,
Tanya Tripp
boys.
was right there with him. That's pretty hard evidence that something was messed up about the whole situation. What were they both hiding about Janelle? The cops were now
Y'all killed her on her
absolutely
16th
sure that
birthday,
Tanya had
cuz.
known much more about her daughter's disappearance the entire time. But she insisted she'd only seen Leon by complete accident. Tanya claimed that she was being evicted and had begun to move to Atlanta. Then she spotted Leon walking along the road while she was driving the U-Haul back to the depot, and that's why they were together. Totally believable, right? Tanya really tried to sell that story, but yeah, that's all about as sus as it sounds. Nobody was buying it. I mean, seeing him out there by accident has got to be a billion to one shot. It's totally unlikely, and the cops thought so too. They immediately charged Leon with abduction, and Tanya was hit with hindering the apprehension of a criminal. Tanya called a neighbor from jail to let her know. The neighbor said,
serious. And she said,
weird ass shit.
It was starting to dawn on everyone.
I'm talking about Booker, dumbass. If she had something to do with him killing her daughter, bruh, and on her birthday, cuz it
just how much they'd been lied to. Given how hard the community worked to find Janelle, this must have hurt so much. And this began to crack the story that Tanya had been telling.